This is the Uptick Network Stock Day Podcast, sponsored by InvestorsHangout.com. Penny stock news and interviews from the microcap world. Public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world. With your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, we have a returning guest. He is Henry Fahman. He is the CEO of PHI Group, Inc. They trade on the OTC markets under the ticker symbol PHIL. Henry, welcome back to the show.
A pleasure to be back with the station and also with our audience today, Everett.
You know, go ahead. I know usually you like to give a forward statement, so go ahead and do that, and then let's get into the Q&A.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we know, the information in this interview as well as in others we have provided includes certain forward-looking statements within the meaning of the safe harbor provision of federal securities laws, as that term is defined in Section 28A of the U.S. Securities Act of 1933 and also Section 21E of the U.S. Securities Exchange Act of 1934, both as amended. And we know, statement in this interview and discussion, which are not purely historical, are forward-looking statement and may include any statement regarding beliefs, plans, and expectations and intentions regarding the future. And we want our investors to be cautioned that such statements are based upon an assumption that in the future, may prove not to have been accurate or are subject to significant changes, risk, and uncertainties. And that includes the future financial performance of the company as well. So we want our investor and listeners to be aware of that.
Very good. Well said. Now, I understand that your group just announced the formation of SmartWay International as a holding vehicle to launch commuter service in Germany and the U.S. Can you elaborate on that and what kind of impact you think that's going to have on your stock and the future of the company?
Yes, very pleased to do so. Yes, SmartWay is a German company that has been around for quite some time, and they've been working on different projects. And right now they're working on a business model which is based on intelligent bundling of existing resources, using all digital and automatic bundling of bookings and scalable door-to-door delivery, multiple services. And we have formed a holding company in the U.S. under the name of SmartWay International, Inc., which will be listed or will be taken public as a holding company to provide funding for the company in Germany to carry out their business plan. PHI Group is the sponsor of this project, and we will own significant interest in the public entity, which we plan to take public through a Reg A+ registration, for funding in order to launch a commuter service business first in Germany and then in the U.S. Because the initial program will be in Germany, so I may want to give a little bit of background on what kind of business opportunity that is there. In Germany,
absolutely,
yeah, there were about over 420 million registered cap rights in 2014. And in 2015, over 20 million people used intercity buses and continue their travel or commute with a cab to their final destination. And about 30 million commuters travel more than 30 minutes to work using local transportation, inclusive of park and ride in Germany. So the market is quite large, not only in Germany, but it's all over the world, and in cities like Los Angeles, cities like Washington D.C. and so forth. And I'm in Jakarta. The traffic jam in that city is just unparalleled. So we see the business model can be applied to many countries as well. And with the concept underway and well developed, ready to be launched, SmartWay management in Germany believe that they can spread across Germany within 8 months after kick off. So that can be a very, very huge operation. And the good thing about it is it's streamlined and it can be replicated quite easily once the first one goes into operation. And so they would like to first initially launch commuter services in Bonn, Germany, and then in Los Angeles this year. And as mentioned, the company will file a registration statement under Regulation 8+ for funding in order to fully implement its business plan. So, if we look at other companies like Uber, like Grab, or Lyft, for example, we believe there's still a lot of room for a company like SmartWay, because we have some features that are quite unique and can be more robust than some of the competitors out there. And at this stage, we are not quite ready to discuss the technical aspect of the technology yet, but we can have Dr. Pham Tai, who's the inventor and scientist behind this plan, to discuss this issue with our audience in the very near future. So we believe it will have a great impact for PHI stock, especially building long-term value in the future.
You were on my show a couple of months ago, and you mentioned in a prior press release about Abundant Farms, organic farming program, EB5, Immigration Investors Program. What is the progress on that and its initiative?
Yes, for the Abundant Farms organic farming program and EB5 investor program, we have open escrow to acquire a farm in Holmes County, Florida, and expecting to close escrow in July this year, and we can start planting a couple rounds of crops after closing. Even before, we're trying to work with the owner to start doing it before that. That's on the operation, the planning. But on the funding side, we have engaged an EB5 specialist to help us file the application with the USCIS for the EB5 Immigration Investor Program. And when it's approved, our plan is to bring in about $15 million investment into this project, and then we'll grow from there. I think that would be enough for us to start off, and don't have to raise any capital for it to go further. However, that may change, depending on how large and how quickly we want to grow. And we will continue to buy and lease more farmland in the U.S. And at the same time, we're looking for new acquisitions in other countries. Can be JV, can be joint operation, or can be direct investment into some of the producing farms we have investigated. That will give us the instant claim to revenues and profitability. So so far, it's just going very, very well. It's not as fast as we had wished to see happen, but it's okay. We are on the right track, and it will happen.
One thing I could say about you, Henry, is that you're always out there looking for the next big thing. You're always looking for M&A, mergers and acquisitions for your company. My guest today is Henry Fahman. He is the CEO of PHI Group, Inc. They trade on the OTC markets under the ticker symbol PHIL. Though you've been a fully operating and reporting company with the SEC for a long time, you decided to move it to the OTCQB level recently. What's the fastest path for your upgrade to a senior exchange like the NASDAQ or maybe the New York?
Yeah. Well, we've been a fully reporting company, for a long time. And when the OTCQB market cease to operate, OTC markets took over and installed the new level OTCQB, and we decided at that time, we may not want to join because, technically we are fully reporting with the SEC, so it's all transparent and so forth. But we thought because of some groups of investors that want to see our company on OTCQB instead. That's why we decided to upgrade it to this venue. However, we believe it's just a one step, like a stepping stone, because we are fully reporting already. What we need to do is to bring in critical mass in terms of revenue and profitability, so we can get to the senior exchange, which is our ultimate goal in the near future. And I think the fastest way to do that, as we have already been working on it, is to acquire an existing company or target that already has good revenue level, and with that we'll be able to consolidate and can report the revenues and profitability under our company, and we can fast track the uplisting to NASDAQ or NYSE that way.
Henry, tell us what you intend to accomplish by partnering with this Maxa Group in Romania. What's that all about?
Yeah, we have signed an MOU with the Maxa Group of companies in the county of Timis, Romania. We consider a number of possibilities that we believe may facilitate mutual growth for both companies, including we are very interested in acquiring majority interest in Maxa Grow. That's the one thing we think we want to do, and we have discussed with the majority shareholder and president, founder of the company. Maxa Grow also need to be recapitalized and raise capital, because there's opportunity for them to acquire additional farmland in the area. Some of the land they are leasing from other owners right now, and now in Romania, you have the first right of refusal. If you are leasing or farming the land, then you can buy it first before somebody else can buy it. So Maxa Grow is in that position right now, and they want to acquire more land. And we also think it would be a great idea to take Maxa Grow public in the U.S. And the European stock markets, either directly or indirectly, so we can create a platform to raise money for them to grow further.
So speaking of Romania, what are the advantages of farming in Romania?
Interestingly, in Romania, about 30% of the population is involved in farming, but mostly smaller farmers. What we're looking at is the incentive from the EU that is providing to Romanian farmers. For example, there are funding programs that can provide 50 to 70 non-refundable, non-reimbursement funds from EU for farmers. So that's a great advantage. And some areas like in Sibiu, it's the capital of cheese tradition of Romania, and that's where we are involved besides the project in Maxa Grow. And EU, Romania is an EU country, so it's very easy to access other countries in the region like Germany and France and UK and so forth.
Absolutely. What kind of impact do you think this is going to, do for your company, and what do you expect that impact, or what do you expect to see in the next 6 to 12 months?
See, right now we are looking to acquire majority interest of Maxa Grow as the first option, and with that transaction, once completed, we can consolidate the revenues. They're doing about $30 million in revenue right now.
30 million.
Yeah, and we are also looking at another opportunity in Sibiu, which we will announce very shortly as well. And those transactions will add a lot of value to PHI Group in terms of revenue and also valuation for our company in the next 6 to 12 months.
Absolutely, absolutely. PHI Group is a company that we're highlighting today. With us is Henry Fahman. He's the CEO of that company. They trade on the OTC markets under the ticker symbol PHIL. Their market cap's only 1.1 million. Sounds like very undervalued for all the activity they have possibly coming through the pipeline. I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure to have you on here. I wish you nothing but continued success, and I'll talk to you when you come back on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much, Everett, and your station, and our special thanks to our faithful and loyal audience and listeners in the community. Yeah.
The following program is entirely sponsored and produced by Uptick Newswire LLC, which is responsible for the following content. The opinions and information provided on today's show are those of the guests and of those of the respective companies they represent, and does not necessarily reflect those of the staff or management of this station. Uptick Network encourages all listeners of the show to do their own due diligence and research when determining investment strategies that'll work for them, or to seek the assistance of an investment professional. The guests of today's show may have paid to appear on the show and are not directly affiliated with Uptick Network or this station.